Oh god. To anyone watching this video that fully respects Mineclub and spends every day on it, I'm sorry, but you need to watch this.
We plan on launching a new game every single month at this level of quality, and I think you guys will really like Dodgeball. It's going to be amazing. We also plan throughout this summer to spend $250,000, $250,000 in advertising Mineclub. One of our past servers, that was one of our more successful one. Our most successful one was named Hysteria.
Oh dear. Mineclub! The server I spent over 6 months on and started a YouTube channel which ended up going from 0 to 400 subs in 4 months. By this alone, you could probably tell that I really enjoyed the server, and during the months of June to October, that was definitely the case. I'd spent over 500 hours on it and dedicated a lot of my free time to the server and its community. It was something I'd never seen before, and I can still admit that today. But I no longer feel I can play and support the server anymore after a lack of updates, lies from the management, and many more events that have occurred, some involving things that happen behind the scenes in the server. So today I'm back to clear... That was so fucking cringe. So today I'm back to clear things up and give the true reasoning of why I've distanced myself from the server and chose to stop making content on it. I'll be going through many reasons in this video, so this may be a long ride, and I'd highly recommend watching until the end to hear about things like, you know. And who knows, you may have a different view of Mineclub by the end of this video. Before we move on though, Mineclub has a habit of censoring videos such as these that criticize the server and show situations where they can appear in the wrong. So that being said, I will try my best in this video to show both sides' perspective and try to share my own thoughts that I believe need to be heard by people, and if I get banned for making this video, I think it kinda proves my point. I also wish that anyone mentioned in this video not to be harassed or bought into this, as no one else was involved in the production of this video and it was a solo project, but they are needed for context and enables you to understand many situations. But let us start with a quick recap of what the server is from the outside. Like I said earlier, Mineclub is quite unique for what it is at its core, and that's what they're also most known for. Over the last year, I'll admit, Mineclub has managed to build a good reputation of doing things differently and having lots of features that were quite exclusive to them or where you couldn't find in many other places. Some examples include an economy that lets you trade cosmetics openly, their own original game modes like laser tag and dodgeball, and even furniture and housing with custom models. And they are all quite impressive, which admittedly led me to loving to play on the server. But also when looking at the server and seeing not much content being made on it, I thought how hard would it be to get some views. So on July 19th, I uploaded my first video on this channel of how Mineclub will overtake Hypixel. You could say I don't agree with that video anymore. And as a lot of you will know, I went on to upload many more videos about the server and even became, from my own belief, one of the biggest Mineclub YouTubers yet. Mineclub was definitely a big part of my life during the second half of 2021, as I very much enjoyed the server and the community at the time. I spent most of my free time on the server and talking to people who shared the same enjoyment, and one thing led to another. I thought about becoming staff on the server. So I head over to the applications channel and see that there is only a limited amount of spots left and applied immediately. What I didn't know was that that was a sneaky lie. It's one of the smart ways that Mineclub gets you to apply by pretending there is not many spots left, when in reality if you're good enough and their standard of good is pretty low, you'll get into the trial phase, which is where you go if your application is accepted. Now by itself, this is not a bad thing and is a simple psychological trick they use, but it's not a good sign, and if you look around, these are in a lot of places, and we will eventually come to the word of gaslighting, which is a word I can feel I can relate to quite a lot when talking about Mineclub. Quick example of another trick would be the store where they pretend the items are on sale, but in reality the prices have never been on sale and those are just the true prices. They just pretend they're on sale to make it a higher chance of you purchasing the items. Again, by itself it's not that bad, but eventually all these things added up can be considered quite a manipulative environment and can ruin their credibility. Now going back to staff applications, this is exactly what trial is. The trial period is one of the most frustrating yet exciting experiences you will ever have because of the journey you take through it and the unexpected amount of time it really can take. I applied on July 31st and didn't get guide until October 1st. It took me 2 months to get from trial to guide. Now some would say that's on me and I should have done better as a trial member, but if you've been through it, you would say the same as me, that is quite an unfair and difficult process for the person. I'm not going to go into depth about the whole phase, as that's an entire video by itself. So if you want to go read about it, there is a Twitter thread on it by an account called Mineclub Public Opinions. I'll probably link everything down below that I talk about in the description. And this was one of the reasons that the server frustrated me a lot during that time. But when that day came of my promotion, you could say I was a bit excited. I mean, hey, no surprise when you're sitting in trial for 2 months without any knowledge on if you're getting recommendation votes or not because they broke the bot that tells you who voted for you on purpose so that apparently you get guy by surprise and it leaves you completely in the dark and just unprepared as fuck. So anyways, back to the YouTube stuff. Nixe decided that because us content creators were so valuable to the server, and to be fair, we are, my how to get rich videos are a great example of getting players to spend longer on the server as they have to follow the guide and are more likely to get attached to the server. He made an exclusive chat for us back at the end of August, and in it was me, Vigo, Orikorv, Lucas9446, Bubbly and his editor, and a few other people from Mineclub including Nixe himself. Nixe explained he intended the group chat to be for allowing the creators to get closer with the team and we would receive extra updates on things. But what I believe is that it was actually made to keep us uploading videos to the server because as I said earlier, it benefits them a lot without having to do any work. The first sign of this is when casual conversation was going around when the group started when Vigo said that Twitch was going very well for him, and Bubbly mentioned that he was thinking of branching out to Twitch and Vigo provided further detail on his progress. Nixe immediately jumped in and said, let's not distract our YouTubers, which kind of shows that he does value the content on YouTube and wants people to continue making videos because they are permanently there for them. Unless you take them down, of course, like, you know, and... yeah. And to prove my point even more, he next sent a very interesting message. They would not only be marketing Mineclub, but they would have their own YouTube channel for the server. And of course at the end, a subtle reminder to keep uploading for them. There are a few other things he said to us as well, including huge player counts being present in the future, which means more views for us. But this was all on August 30th, none of which has happened nearly 6 months later. He not only told us, but the entire beta community a week later that they were going to be spending $25,000 that month on ads, and it never happened.
Mid-September, we're launching our first YouTube campaign where we have a really big budget. I guess I can reveal it. We're spending $25,000 for this entire month, and then next month we're going to be spending a lot more. And yeah, we're going to be displaying Mineclub to, well, millions of views, but that will probably convert into maybe 100, 200,000 joins. And then next month we'll do even more, and even more the month after. And we're really going to begin growing Mineclub.
Nixe even came to my housing when a new update was out and lied to my face. I posted this in a group chat a few months later after I knew a lot more about the server and explained what I said above. And after the creator chat ended up never being used, he attempted to revive it by posting a few random things in the chat like how lots of us had began doing shorts. He even took the opportunity to shout me out in the chat to I guess encourage uploading as I had started to slip in frequency, and then once again started talking about marketing, which never happened. And during the previously mentioned beta call, he even shouted me out because he knew I would burst out of fucking excitement because of my love for the server. And as he predicted, I did. Because I really did love this server, and you can see it in my videos that I made, and Nixe straight up gaslighted me, yes, I said it, just into making more videos so his server could succeed. Now I will try to put it into perspective from their position to be fair in this situation. Let's say Nixe wasn't lying, and just wants to grow his server. He would be fair in saying that to spread across multiple platforms is better, and videos are indeed better for a server to succeed. For the second and latter points, Nixe said himself all of these were delayed and put off because of a side project they were handling called Meta. And in October, Facebook changed their name to Meta and they had domain names that were considered valuable to have. And this caused them to have to step back from Mineclub. But Facebook didn't change their name until October 29th, which is over a month after marketing was meant to take place. And I know things like this can get leaked, but even after the ads were meant to go up in this message, he completely ignores that he said that and says they will have a Mineclub channel soon once again. So if they lied here, who's to say I'm wrong about the purpose of the creator chat, as it makes sense in hindsight? Or even the existence of Meta actually being real. It's the perfect excuse for them as they had once again fucked up because they never had a video to advertise even though Nixe said it here. They never made a video in the first place. And they have made up excuses over false promises and lies in the past many times before. In September, they excused no content in the summer because they were working on an ROI, which means rate on investment, as they want to make money as a business. But isn't Mineclub a passion project and have never made any profit and are even planning to remove their store? Uh-oh, looks like they caught themselves in their words here. Roll the clip.
Yeah, I want you guys all to know that kind of like summer, we kind of just like kind of went a little bit in the dark. Like, you know, we wanted to get housing out. We wanted to get all these things polished and fine-tuned. And I'm not going to go into the financials of Mineclub, but we really needed to focus on our ROI and our revenues as well. And we've made significant optimizations and changes in the background that have boosted that, because when it comes to running a proper business and all that stuff, you have to make sure that we can run marketing at a positive ROI, so we can scale that and we can bring on YouTubers and we can run crazy campaigns and display YouTube ads all across the millions of players every single month. There's a lot that goes into growing a big project like Mineclub.
And just to add to the already huge amount of lies, Nixe loves to throw in random subtle lies to hype the community up that just never happen. For example, once again, in the same owner call, they claimed they had made a website for Mineclub, which is sort of like a mini Twitch. You know what, just roll the clip.
In July, we hired a web developer and we spent a couple $1,000s and we built a whole website called Mineclub Live. And for those of you that know MCC, like our Mineclub Live was ready before they launched theirs, but theirs is a little bit different. Like theirs is way different than what we have. Like our Mineclub Live is an entire portal. It's like a mini Twitch in the sense that like you don't go there to see stats, MCC stats. You go to there to actually like watch the stream and watch the tournament and look at all the different angles and it's a lot more advanced than that. And we have a lot of data tracking and graphs in the back, and it's completely opposite of what MCC has. But it's just ironic that they have the same name.
Here, he said they spent a few $1,000s, and if you did do that, then why let it go to waste and never bring it up again? Mineclub's credibility has continued to spiral downwards and is only saved because of the heavy censorship from the management that attempt to block out these lies. Nixe never addressed in that chat that marketing wasn't going to happen, so to us we are all just under the illusion that it is. I can understand how people can mess up and predict things wrong and make mistakes. But saying to your beta players, who have mostly been there since the start, saying you have a new game every single month, and then say nothing for the next 3 months with not even one new game. You only started the beta calls to bring back the old players and their unobtainables, but they don't need to know that, do they? And it ain't like these are their first broken promises. Mineclub literally has a reputation and has become a joke that if there is an update happening, it probably won't happen for a month longer than they say it will, and has been proven right on multiple occasions. But most of these are forgotten, as old players became sick of being lied to and decided to leave, so now new players don't know what happened back then and don't expect the same thing. Censorship is a huge problem Mineclub has, as they cannot take criticism that well, and actually relates to my inevitable demotion. I say inevitable because I knew it was only a matter of time before I caught saying or doing something the owners didn't like, and New Year's Eve was that day. But something else also happened that day. Something that probably put a new perspective on Mineclub for many people.
More coming, guys. We've been hard at work. We've been so hard at work.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video.
That's right. On the same day as JD Awesome uploaded his video, which ended up him nearly getting sued, I was demoted. Coincidence? Yeah, you guessed it, it's not. Now, to anyone who is not familiar with JD Awesome, he was a player who was scammed out of some money from the weekly tournaments and made some videos calling out the owners, and it caused a lot of drama within the community, especially after the third video. While a lot of what he said was false, there are a few parts of the video where Mineclub does not look great. Take Exhibit A, for example. Or how about Exhibit B? Of course, these both don't have the full story behind them, but they still ain't a good look. Now, while that situation has now been resolved, I mentioned him because he is quite a key part of my demotion, but it was not his fault, it was purely my fault. And once again, I wish for no one to go and contact him about his vids, as I promise you he will not talk. Strangely enough though, Rasho deleted his tweet regarding the drama, which maybe shows that they don't want people remembering that happened. Anyways, so a few hours after the video, I got on a call with him and a few hours and reviewed the situation and talked about a lot of things. He then invited me to a Discord server he was in, and I decided to have a little bit of fun and said some things that they wouldn't like. But hey, in my defense, I was just speaking what I believe to be the truth, from MC Market and past companies owned by Alex. Oh, and just speaking my opinion on Gooby. Sorry, man. Those 3 events or reasons are the real reasons I was demoted that night, and just to clarify, I did deserve to be demoted. I don't mind that I was. And I got caught because there were people lurking from Mineclub in the Discord I joined. What I care about is what happened the next day. Now, about 18 hours later, I was chilling in the Mineclub Philanthropy Discord as everyone's chatting after and at everyone in the server. And out of nowhere, Big Man Hylix comes through with a message that no one could have expected. Did you tell everyone you made a racist joke, which is why you were demoted? Ah, so that's how they're going to cover my demotion up. If I made a racist joke, why the fuck am I not banned? You're a PG server and you don't ban a racist. Kinda strange, dude. So naturally, I ask him who told him this, where this accusation has come from, and just any proof backing up the claim, which he chose to ignore and not provide multiple times. The topic diverts a bit, talking about recent events and one involving Exhibit A mentioned earlier. Hylix contradicts himself by saying that the screenshot wasn't directed at Joey, but then a few messages later says it was directed at Joey and also another person called Liam, also known as Elcol, who was an ex-manager who has quite the story. So after his false accusation from earlier, I decided to cheekily show him up by posting this, and after this he did not seem happy as he immediately repeats his claims. Once again, I, and this time many others, asked for proof of the matter multiple times, which of course he never provides and quite obviously ignores. But from one of the responses, he says that it wasn't actually the reason I was demoted, and rather than showing the screenshot, he says to ask around for it. Sounds like you're changing his story there, bud. Your credibility as a server is already awful, and you decide to say all of this? Which, by the way, you can ask around all you want for the screenshot, and you will never receive it, because it doesn't exist. I never made the racist joke. It was made as a cover-up reason to hide the fact that one of their staff members was interacting with someone who, from their words, slandered their server. I could totally see why they would want to hide that, and once again, I admit I deserve to be demoted, but that doesn't give you the excuse to call me racist. Do you realise how damaging that can be to someone's career? And if any of you want to see it for yourself before it's probably deleted, just go ahead and join the Discord it happened in. Another quick random thing, you can't even say that it was me saying it to people that I made a racist joke and in result I got demoted and not yourself saying it when you literally admitted it here. This isn't the only time something like this has happened, and most ex-staff have a story on why they left. Hylix is so incredibly poor at handling these situations and acts immature and unprofessionally. Here's an example of another problem that occurred a while back that was later resolved, so I respect that from Hylix, but still, at first, it was not handled well. And if you're asking why I didn't try to resolve this with Hylix about his claims, I actually did. A couple of days after the incident, I messaged him about it and gave him quite an open way to negotiate with me, but what a surprise, he ignored it. And what makes it even worse about this is that this is literally just the tip of the iceberg of the server and the management's past. I'm not going to go into anything else as this video is already too long and it would be quite literally impossible to talk and explain everything. But I may be going live in the next day or so to talk about it, and you can join my Discord for more discussion if you want to. If anyone else wants to talk about things, I'm also down as well, just message me on Discord. I'd even be happy for the owners to try and defend their court here. Personally, I think I've told my events and thoughts here pretty fairly and truthfully, and I'm open to debate. But to sum it up, I left Mineclub and their content creation because I became sick of supporting a server that lied to me and treated people like absolute shit, and causing me to burn out even faster than I would have if I didn't know. Almost all the events I've told today involved purely myself, and I still have a few minor ones to tell, but I just want you to imagine why people leave randomly, why staff resign, and what stories people have of their own. I'll leave a few things in the description for people that want to dive into this topic more than they can. But I decided to make this video because I do want to continue content creation at some point, and I also wanted to address any rumors floating around and show to the public what this server is really like. And that's all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed my unexpected return, and I'll see you around. Goodbye.